Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. If you like what you hear today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more. So you know how electric cars are kind of a big deal these days? Well, something happened to me yesterday that I just got to tell you about.
Okay, I'm all ears.
I went to the store, and I swear, like every other car in the parking lot was a Tesla. It was crazy.
Wow, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot.
I know what you mean. It's kind of wild how many you see on the roads now.
It is. It really makes you wonder, like, why are there so many electric cars all of a sudden?
Well, I think one of the biggest reasons is gas prices, right? They've been going up and up, and electric cars, well, they don't use gas.
Yeah, that's a good point. It definitely helps your wallet.
For sure. And it's not just about saving money. A lot of people are choosing electric cars because they want to help the environment.
Yeah, electric cars don't pollute the air like gas cars do.
Exactly. It's a much cleaner way to get around.
And on top of that, the technology is just so, like, I saw this video online of a Tesla driving itself on the highway.
Oh, yeah, the autopilot feature.
Yeah, it's like something out of a movie.
It really is pretty futuristic.
It makes you wonder what they'll come up with next.
Right. But even with all the advancements, there are still some challenges with electric cars.
Like what? I'm curious.
Well, one of the main things is that you need to charge them up, and it's not as simple as just filling up your tank at a gas station.
Yeah, I've heard that charging can be a bit of a hassle.
Yeah, you need to find a charging station and wait for a while for the battery to charge.
And I've heard some people complaining about there not being enough charging stations around.
Yeah, that's definitely a concern in some areas, especially if you're going on a longer trip.
So what do you do if you live in an area without many charging stations?
Well, for one thing, you want to make sure you can charge at home.
Oh, right. So you don't always have to rely on public charging stations.
Exactly. And if you're renting an apartment or looking for a new office, you might even want to see if they have charging stations available.
That's a good tip.
And there are also apps that can help you find charging stations when you're out and about.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah, technology really helps with a lot of these challenges. But, even with the apps and home charging, there are still some things to think about, like what happens in the winter?
Oh, yeah. I've heard that cold weather can affect electric car batteries.
Yeah, it's true. Batteries don't work as well in the cold, and you might not be able to drive as far on a single charge.
That's a good point, especially if you live somewhere with really cold winters.
Right. I have a friend who has an electric car, and he told me his range dropped significantly when it got cold out.
So what can you do about that? Do you just have to stay home when it's freezing?
Haha. Not necessarily. Some electric cars actually have features that let you preheat the battery while it's plugged in.
Really? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it helps to improve the range in cold weather, and it's actually more efficient than trying to warm up the battery while you're driving.
Huh. That's smart. So it's
Yeah.
like warming up your car engine on a cold day, but for the battery?
Exactly. It gets everything ready to go. So if you're thinking about getting an electric car, it's definitely something to keep in mind, especially if you live in a colder climate.
For sure. But, even with the cold weather challenges, there are just so many cool things about electric cars. Like, have you ever seen those self-parking features? They're mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah. It's like magic, and then there's autopilot. I know, right? It's like the car can practically think for itself.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But I did hear a story from a friend who was using autopilot, and the car suddenly slammed on the brakes for no reason.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, it gave her a huge scare, she said.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess the technology isn't perfect yet.
I guess not. Still a work in progress.
For sure. But it is incredible how far it's come.
Absolutely. Makes you wonder what's next for electric cars. I mean, are we going to have flying cars soon or what?
Haha, who knows? Maybe one day. But even without flying cars, there's still so much to be excited about. Like, have you seen those new electric trucks?
Oh, yeah, the ones that can tow like a ton of weight but are still super quiet.
Exactly. I saw one driving down the road the other day, and it was seriously impressive.
I bet.
It really makes you realize that electric vehicles aren't just for little city cars anymore.
Right. They're getting more and more powerful.
Exactly. And that's important because if we want to make a real difference for the environment, we need electric options for all types of vehicles.
Yeah, I totally agree.
The more people buy electric cars, trucks, and SUVs, the more companies will invest in making them even better.
For sure. It's kind of like a snowball effect, right?
Exactly. The more electric cars there are, the more charging stations we'll see, and then they'll become even more affordable.
Yeah, and then even more people will buy them and so on.
Right. It's a positive feedback loop, and it's why I think it's so important to support this whole transition to electric vehicles.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just think about it. If everyone switched to electric cars, we could really cut down on our reliance on fossil fuels.
Absolutely, and that would have a massive impact on climate change. I mean, it's not just about saving money on gas anymore. It's about making the planet healthier for everyone.
Yeah, you're right. It's about the bigger picture.
Exactly. It's about creating a better future, and honestly, they're just really fun to drive.
Okay, now that's something I gotta agree with. Have you ever driven an electric car?
Yeah, I rented one for a weekend trip a while back, and it was amazing.
I bet. What was it like?
It was so smooth and quiet. The acceleration was incredible, and you could actually hear the birds singing while driving. It was that quiet.
Wow, that sounds so peaceful.
It was. You know, I think you should really consider getting one for your next car.
Yeah, you might be right.
Hmm.
I'm definitely starting to warm up to the idea.
I think you should go test drive a few different models. There are so many options out there these days.
Yeah, you're right. And who knows, maybe we'll even see those flying cars sooner than we think.
Haha, one can dream. But in the meantime, I think we can all agree that electric cars are pretty darn cool.
Absolutely. And hey, if you want to learn even more about this awesome world of electric vehicles, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Yes, please do. We've got tons more to talk about on this topic.
You know, it's kind of crazy to think about how much the auto industry has changed in just a few years.
I know, right? It wasn't that long ago that electric cars were seen as, like, this niche thing.
Yeah, it seemed like only the techie people were really into them back then.
Exactly. But now it feels like they're everywhere.
It really shows you how fast things can change.
It really does. It makes you wonder what's going to be the next big thing in transportation.
I know, right? Like, what's next? Are we all going to be flying around in spaceships?
Uh-huh, maybe. I mean, there are so many possibilities out there.
Yeah, like self-driving cars are getting more advanced all the time.
And there's a lot of research happening with alternative fuels like hydrogen.
It's definitely an exciting time to be following all this stuff.
For sure. And, you know, one thing I find really interesting is how electric cars could change our cities.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, imagine a world where there's way less traffic noise and the air is cleaner.
That would be amazing.
Right. It would make cities so much more pleasant to live in.
And it would be healthier for everyone, too.
Exactly. Plus, think about all the space that's currently taken up by gas stations.
Yeah, what would we do with all that land if we didn't need it for gas anymore?
I know, right? It could be used for so many other things like parks or housing.
It's really mind-blowing to think about all the possibilities.
It really is. I mean, widespread electric car adoption could change so many aspects of our lives.
It's a total game changer.
Absolutely. And it's happening right now, which is pretty amazing.
So if anyone listening is still on the fence about electric cars, I'd say go test drive one.
Yes. And talk to people who own them. Do your research.
You might be surprised by how much you like it.
And remember, every little step we take towards a more sustainable future makes a difference.
Well said. And that's a wrap on our deep dive into the world of electric cars.
We hope you enjoyed it.
If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insightful deep dives like this one.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for joining the conversation here at Kaz English. We hope you found it fun and informative. Don't forget to check out kazapp.uk. That's kazapp.uk for more tips, resources, and interactive practice. Keep exploring, keep chatting, and we'll catch up with you again soon.